Alright, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. This is my Dwarf African Strangler. That's what it was sold to me as, is some sort of Natalensis. People suggest that it's probably not African, it's Australian, but then they never really give me any good name for it. They just say they think it looks Australian. I'll stick with what it was sold to me as, so it's a Dwarf African Ficus. Let's look at the other side here real quick. It's hard to get this guy in a picture rotated all around. It is a root over rock. You can see the rock in there. The last time I did anything to it was August of last year. And if you go back and watch the video, I didn't watch the entire thing. I did actually just watch part of it. I repotted it, and I think I started out just saying I'm going to pull up the rock and see what things look like. And I pulled it up, and I have to admit it looked a little bit better than I thought. It's still a huge rock for the size of the tree, but I actually do think that this tree will grow quick enough to go ahead and kind of match the size of it enough and everything. But I decided I was going to pull it up and look, and then I just, whatever it was I saw, I think it was mostly organic soil, and I just decided to go ahead and repot the whole thing. Turned out pretty well, and I haven't done anything to it since. So I was going to go ahead and prune it up today. This is actually, I had a rough night last night, and I was actually thinking I was just going to do something I didn't have to talk much through, didn't take much to think about, just kind of relax and prune a tree, I guess, and everything. But it is a little more complicated than I thought. If I decide to get wire on it, that may have to wait just a little bit. Some of these branches are a lot more still flexible than I thought they would be. I have had it wired up before, but for now we're going to go ahead and just get in here, clean it up, find the trunk a little bit better and everything. You're going to actually even see right away here that there is just, it gets a bunch of, all ficus kind of get the little shoots where they're kind of unneeded, unplanned, however you want to put it. I mean, and of course, if you weren't using it, to do our little hobby with and everything, if you just left it forever, or so it was just, growing in the wild, that would just continue to grow out, and it would just be a huge, this thing would actually get really huge if you planted it in the dirt and just never pruned it and everything, but obviously that's not what we want to happen. All of this is just superfluous growth, so I'm going to go ahead and start here, and like I said, probably not talk much, just go ahead and just go at it. That right there now looks like a huge chop mark, but in fact that was just like 3 little twigs coming out of there together. But that is actually, as I was looking at it before I got going here, I said I wanted something easy to do, and then I realized maybe it's not as easy as I thought. There's actually a huge top scar right here, and let's see, where did the apex used to be on this thing? That is where the apex used to be. I tried to take a really big air layer off that. It did not work out. I've tried to take cuttings off this tree before, and really, I mean, everybody says that the Natalensis is the easiest to take cuttings off of. I've had no luck. I am now going to officially quit talking. Just going to go ahead and finish cleaning it up. Alright, and before we go up and look at the whole thing here, there's this branch. I'll show you when we do look at the whole thing exactly where it is I'm talking about, but this branch here is very small. I've been trying to hold on to it. Just it has some movement and everything, but it's just kind of under everything else. And so much of a smaller branch than anything even close to, anything that's above it. So I think that was time to go. And then all around in here is an area of growth that I have cut back through the times. It's almost turned into a little bit of a burl. Some of it's attached to some of these finer aerial roots, and if they gotta go, they gotta go. Just try to clean that up a little bit better than it has been. Couple of growths in here too. Alright, now let's take a look at the whole thing. Alright, and there we go. Simplified down quite a bit from what we started with. Go ahead and let some of those elongate a little bit and maybe think about getting some wire on it over perhaps the winter or something. Still hard to get it to rotate around, get it in one picture. Looking pretty good though.